Well, good morning, everybody, and I'm here with my team this morning. And today starts a new chapter with the Jabbour Luxury Group, and the way that I'm going to continue to help people understand this market and understand our thinking, not only about economic financial statistics, but also, ideas of choice that we make in our lives because of the economy of the life that comes at us. So I'll be posting this on Tuesday, as you see, the hot sheets, and just reviewing where we are in the market, purely on the numbers and maybe a little bit of opinion, always a little hyperbole. And then on Friday, I'll be releasing the more personal side of the writings that I've been doing on Substack, and I hope you continue to enjoy that. So we're putting the whole thing together for you so you can see all of our range of thinking and understand who we are. So today's Tuesday, January the 27th. Yesterday I posted on Substack, being right and knowing you might not be. It's okay. And it's an article about predictive mechanisms in people's minds, why they always think their intuition is right and maybe why it's not. And so you can read that, and it's in the description below here. Take a look at that when you can. So Substack's a very important feature of what I do, and I hope you'll explore that more. But anyway, let's get into the meat of the matter, which is how is this market moving these days? What happened over the weekend? Let's take a look and see what we have. A new set of listings, 40 of them since Friday. Got one in Alys Beach at $13 million. That's awesome. And we travel all the way down with 40 listings to $500,000 homes coming soon. So we have the whole range of pricing happening in the new listings hot sheet, but really the new listings hot sheet that's more important is also what's the pending volume. It's very important to know what's pending. And yes, we've had some pending activity over the last several days across the wide spectrum of the beach. We're very focused on the east end and the west end of 30A, and I'll be diving into that more because that gives us a benchmark of the market and how it's behaving for luxury vacation homes. Well, one went pending in the Costa Blanca, went pending at a list price of $4.4 million. We'll see where that one closes later. We have another one pending at $4.3 million in Seacrest on Seacrest Drive. That's pretty good. A lot went pending in Old Seagrove, which is an area of 30A that my team absolutely does a substantial amount of business in there. We've been the number one agent in Old Seagrove for the last 6 years, each of the last 6 years, building new homes in there, acquiring lots. And so we have 27 pending items across the entire spectrum of the Emerald Coast, and we'll dive in a little bit more to just the 30A area here in just a second. But let me make sure that you also have a sense of price reductions or price changes. Could be up, could be down. Mostly down. We've had a price change in Watercolor. We've had a price change in Seacrest Beach, and some more here that you can see that I put to the screen. But let's look at what the Jabbour Luxury Group has focused on for years. Years. If you look at the same data over and over and over again and begin to draw conclusions from it, and I'll talk more about this in time, and try to determine whether the conclusions you're drawing are not just putting a finger in the air, but are actually statistically relevant, which I'll demonstrate that during this podcast series in time. I'm certain I will. I've written an article about it on Substack. I posted that article here too for you to understand the statistical analysis that we do. What we look at is always consistent. Year after year, we compare the previous year's month to the current year's month of the number of homes sold on 30A. We exclude Watersound Origins, which is a great place for residential living, rental restricted, and a bunch of families there. We focus instead on the discretionary second home vacation market of homes because that really tells us the tone of the market that we're serving primarily. And so we look at the changes in the unit volume sold year over year and how that's doing to help us determine if we have enough buyers or not, how it's changing or not. And then we have the median price point year over year in January of 2025 compared to January of 2026. And we compare that each and every month as it's emerging. And we don't necessarily do that to see what the price changes are, because median price point can be very volatile, but it does tell us what kind of buyers are here right now. And look at the median price point for the current month of January at $2,475,000, up 83% over last year. Doesn't tell us prices are up huge, but it does tell us that right now the buyers coming to 30A are looking at relatively more expensive homes as their center point of activity. The median is the exact center of activity, as many above, as many below. When we combine those two pieces of data, it gives us a sense of the health of the market. And then when we look at inventory trends over long arcs of history, we can declare whether or not the market is in favor of a buyer or trending that way, in favor of a seller or trending that way, or perfectly balanced. And that's been a point of controversy of late. But it's not a controversy for us because we just look at the data. If I look at the data for 2017 and the month ending in December at 591 units of homes for sale on 30A, and I come to today and I look at January of 2026 and I see there are 619 homes for sale on 30A, I don't see that as materially different. Right now, the absorption rate is being calculated as a little bit higher of months on inventory, but you also have to look at the absolute data. And the absolute comparison of 619 homes presently for sale on 30A to 591 that were for sale at the end of 2017, or even to the 615 that were for sale at the end of 2018. That could be a normal market. And our contention has been, and I've published on it a number of times, that the hot sheets tell me that the inventory levels are about the same as 2017, 2018, and you know what else it tells me? The unit volume sold month in and month out in 2025 and now emerging into 2026 is essentially equivalent to 2017 and 2018. Our team was in the market then and we knew what it felt like, and that's why we continue to say the market is balancing and normalizing to normal behavior, normal conversations, and great transactions. I hope you enjoyed this week's Hot Sheets.